Okay, before this, we had discussed the shape and the size. So shape is pear shaped, size is 3 centimeter length, 2 centimeter width, and 1 centimeter thickness. And now coming to the parts of the uterus. So there are main two parts of the uterus. This is the body and this is the cervix. Okay, so this body, the junction of the body with the cervix, this part is known as the isthmus. Okay, this part is known as the isthmus. One more part is that here you can see this is the uterus, and these are the two openings of the uterus. These two openings, they are known as the uterine tube, or also known as the fallopian tube. And these uterine tube or the fallopian tubes, they are opening into the cavity of the uterus. And the part of the uterus which is above the imaginary line joining these uterine tubes, this part is known as the fundus of the uterus. So mainly, collectively, there are three main parts of the uterus. The fundus, which is above the imaginary line joining the two uterine tubes, that is known as the fundus. This is the body and this is the cervix. So isthmus is separating the body from the cervix. Okay. Whereas this is the imaginary line which is separating the fundus from the body. So these are the parts of the uterus. Got the points? Yes or no? Please, one of you reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll proceed now. So, now coming to the normal position of the uterus in the female, normal female. So, this uterus, it is obliquely placed. Okay, so you can see here, this is the uterus and this is the vagina. Okay, this is the uterus and this is the vagina. Now you can see this is the uterus. So this is the body of the uterus and this is the cervix of the uterus. Okay, so there is a bending of there is an angle between this angle between this cervix and the long axis of the cervix and long axis of the vagina. This angle, it is near about 90 degree, and this angle is known as the angle of anteversion. Whereas this is the angle between the long axis of the body and the long axis of the cervix. This angle, it is near about 170 degrees, and this angle is known as the anteflexion. So remember, this is the normal position of the female, normal position of the uterus in the normal female, that is the angle of anteversion. V for V, V for V, that's how you can remember, V for V. Okay. uh, V for V, that's how you can remember. Are you able to see the screen? Please reply. Please reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes, sir.
okay. So this is the normal position of the uterus. So V for V, that's how you can remember. Vagina, angle between the vagina and the cervix, anteversion. Okay, that is the anteversion, 90 degree, and anteflexion, normal horizontal angle, this horizontal axis and the horizontal axis of the cervix, horizontal axis of the body and horizontal axis of the cervix. So that is near about 170. That is the angle of anteflexion. So that is the normal position. Now coming to the relations of the, so I told you last time also, whenever we are discussing the relations of any organ, discuss under two heading. First the peritoneal relations, second is the visceral relation. Now first the peritoneal relations. So where I am moving the cursor, that dark black line is representing the peritoneal fold. Okay, so now you can see this is the pelvic organ. These are the pelvic organ. Posterior most pelvic organ is this is the rectum anal canal. Then in the middle, this is the uterus, and anterior most is the urinary bladder. Okay, and the dark black line is representing the peritoneal fold. You can see here this peritoneal fold, it covers the anterior surface of the rectum, then covers the superior surface of the uterus, then covers the and the superior surface of the urinary bladder and get reflected. So there is a pouch between this anterior surface of this peritoneal and this urinary bladder, uterus. This pouch is known as the rectouterine pouch. This rectouterine fold is also known as the pouch of Douglas, whereas the pouch or the peritoneal fold which is present between this uterus and the superior surface of the bladder, this pouch is known as the uterovesical pouch. So these are the two pouches in relation to the this. So this is the rectouterine fold and this is the rectovaginal fold. There are two folds in this rectouterine pouch of Douglas. Rectouterine fold and the this is the vagina, rectovaginal fold, and this is the uterovesical fold, that is also known as the uterovesical pouch, and this is the pouch of Douglas. So these are the peritoneal relations of the uterus. Now coming to the visceral relations of the uterus. Now coming to the visceral relations, you can see here this is the anterior surface. So there are two surfaces for the uterus. So this is the anterior surface and this is the posterior surface where I am moving the cursor. This is the anterior surface and this is the posterior surface. So this anterior surface, it is related with the superior surface of the bladder. So this is the urinary bladder, right? This is the urinary bladder. So anterior surface, it is related with the urinary bladder, whereas cervix as well as vaginal part as well as the supravaginal part of the cervix. So cervix, it is having the two parts, vaginal surface and the supravaginal surface. So this supravaginal part, it is related with the base of the bladder, whereas this vaginal part of the cervix, it is related with the anterior fornix of the vagina. This is the anterior fornix and this is the posterior fornix of the vagina. So vaginal surface of the cervix, it is related with the anterior fornix of the vagina. Now coming to this posterior surface. So this posterior surface of the uterus. So this posterior surface of the uterus, it is related with the sigmoid colon and the coils of the intestine. Sigmoid colon and the coils of the small intestine. Above here, somewhere here where I am moving the cursor, here all there are the coils of the small intestine as well as the sigmoid colon. Whereas again here, somewhere here is so that is the body correlation, posterior relation. Whereas the supravaginal part, here the supravaginal part also it is related with the sigmoid colon and the coils of the intestine. Whereas the vaginal part, this is the vaginal part of the cervix, it is related with the posterior fornix of the vagina. So remember, once I will repeat the things, relations. So this uterus, it is having the anterior surface and the posterior surface. Okay, anterior surface is related with the superior surface of the bladder. Then now coming to the relations of the anterior relations of the cervix. It is having the two parts, supravaginal part and the vaginal part. Supravaginal part, it is related with the base of the bladder, whereas the vaginal part of the cervix, it is related with the anterior fornix, this fold where I am moving the cursor. Vaginal part, anterior fornix of the vagina. Now coming to the posterior relation. Posterior surface, it is related with the coils of the intestine, small intestine and the sigmoid colon. Then again the supravaginal part, it is related with the coils of intestine and the sigmoid colon, whereas the vaginal part of the cervix, it is related with this posterior fornix of the vagina. So these are the relations. Now coming to the cavity. Now we are taking a section of this uterus. So section of the uterus, it is triangular in shape. The cavity of the uterus, it is triangular in shape. Okay. So, and if we are taking a cut section, transverse section, it seems to be a circular. Okay. Now coming to there are some ligaments or the peritoneal folds or the fibromuscular band. So the ligaments related with the uterus, they are divided into two main types, that is the false ligament and the true ligament. False ligament, they are nothing but the peritoneal folds, whereas the true ligament, they are nothing but the fibromuscular band. Okay, they are fibromuscular band. So the false ligament, already we had discussed three, that is the rectouterine pouch. Do you remember the rectouterine pouch? Yes or no? Please reply. Do you remember the rectouterine pouch? Please reply. Hello, please, one of you reply. Do you remember these three terms? That is the recto-uterine pouch, uterovesical pouch, and the rectovaginal fold of the peritoneum. One of you reply, please.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now we'll discuss. Again, I will show you. Okay. I will show you this false ligament. Okay. So you can see here these three false ligament. These three false ligament: rectouterine, uterovesical, rectovaginal. Remember and listen carefully, please. Now, okay. I'm not going to repeat these things again. Okay. False ligament. False ligament. This dark black line is representing the peritoneal fold. Okay. So this peritoneum, it comes covers the anterior surface of the rectum. Then comes the covers the this posterior surface of the uterus. Then comes covers the anterior surface of the uterus. Then comes covers the superior surface and forms the peritoneal fold. This is known as the rectouterine fold. Rectouterine, rectum and uterus. That is also known as the pouch of Douglas. Also, one more fold is there. That is the one more fold is there. That is the rectum and the vagina. Rectouterine fold and rectovaginal fold, and the uterovesica. Vesica means bladder. Uterovesical fold. Uterus and vesica means bladder. Uterovesical vesical fold. Now you will remember, you will realize these are the false ligament. They are nothing but the peritoneal fold, rectouterine, uterovesical, and the rectovaginal. Okay, got the points regarding these three? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now coming to the broad ligament, that is the false ligament. False ligament, one of the major false ligament which is attached to the broad ligament. It is attached to the, this is the uterus, right? Uterus. The broad ligament, it is attached to the lateral border of the uterus and laterally to the pelvic wall. So ये faint blue color का जो भी है ना, that is the broad ligament which is attached to the this uterus upper part of the vagina and laterally attached to the pelvic wall, because either pelvic रहेगा. Okay, so we covered, that's how we covered the four false ligament. Four false ligament. Broad ligament is attached to the lateral wall of the lateral border of the uterus and laterally to the pelvic wall, and these three we discussed in this diagram: rectouterine, rectovaginal, and the uterovesical. Vesica means bladder. Vesico, uterovesical. So finished. False ligament, broad ligament, rectouterine, uterovesical, rectovaginal. Got the points regarding false ligament? Got the concept clear regarding the false ligament? Please reply, one of you. Otherwise,
Sir.
okay, we'll proceed for the true ligament. Now the true ligaments, they are nothing but the fibromuscular bands. True ligaments, they are nothing but the fibromuscular band. Round ligament, they are the round ligament, transverse cervical, uterosacral, and the pubocervical. Now we'll discuss the true ligament. Now you can see here, this is the round ligament. Okay, this is the first true ligament, round ligament. In this diagram, you can see here, this is the round ligament where I am moving the cursor. Round ligament is attached to the angle, lateral angle here, lateral angle of the uterus, where there is opening of the fallopian tube. Then it runs anteriorly forwards. Okay, runs anteriorly and forwards and downwards, okay. It winds around the inferior epigastric artery. It passes through the deep inguinal ring and the superficial inguinal ring, passes through the inguinal canal and divides into septa to be attached to the labia majora. See the pores of the round ligament. Very important thing. The round ligament, it is the main support of the uterus. Okay, So round ligament, it is attached to the lateral angle of the uterus where there is opening of the fallopian tube in the uterus. Then it runs forwards and downwards. It runs forwards and downwards, winds around the inferior epigastric artery, passes through the deep inguinal ring, passes through the superior inguinal ring, passes through the inguinal canal, and then divides into septa to be attached to the labia majora. To be attached to the labia. So that is the one true ligament or the first true ligament. Got the point? True ligament, round ligament of uterus. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now coming to the next three. That is the, here you can see, this is known as the, in this diagram where I am moving the cursor. So this is the transverse section of the pelvis. So this is the uterus. Have the orientation of this diagram. This is the uterus, cervix. Then posterior most is the rectum and anterior most is the urinary bladder. So that's why this is the posterior aspect. This is the anterior aspect. This is the sacrum bone and this is the pubic bone. Okay. Posterior now coming to the these remaining three true ligaments. Okay, so the this transverse cervical ligament, it is attached to the cervix. Okay, it is attached to the cervix, name itself suggests, and laterally it is attached to the lateral pelvic wall. Laterally it is attached to the lateral pelvic wall. Okay, then the uterosacral bone. Okay, so uterus, as name itself suggests, it is attached to the uterus and posterior, it goes posteriorly. Okay, and it is attached to the second sacral bone. It is attached to the S2, second sacral bone, second sacral bone. Whereas the third one is the pubocervical. Name itself suggests, don't mug up the things. This is the pubocervical. It is attached to the cervix and anteriorly attached to the pubic bone. So these three are very easy to remember. Okay, so राउंड लिगामेंट कैसा है, देखो यहाँ पे अटैच टू द लैटरल एंगल ऑफ द यूटेरस, passes anteriorly down, forwards and downwards, winds around the inferior epigastric artery, passes deep superficial ring, deep inguinal ring, superficial inguinal ring, passes inguinal canal, and splits into the septa to be attached to the labia majora. Whereas the these three, that is the name itself suggests, transverse cervical, transversely placed, uterosacral, and the pubocervical. So now we finish the these ligaments regarding the this uterus, that is the false ligament, broad ligament, rectouterine, uterovesical, rectovaginal. These are nothing but the peritoneal folds, whereas the true ligaments, round ligament, transverse cervical, uterosacral, pubocervical, these are the fibromuscular band. They are the true supports of the uterus. They are giving the true supports of the uterus. Okay, now we'll proceed. What the points regarding the ligaments? Please reply, one of you. Please reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll proceed
Yes,
now.
sir.
We'll proceed now. All these are now coming to the arterial supply. Arterial supply is through the uterine artery, which is a branch of the this is the uterine artery, which is supplying to the uterus, which is a branch of internal iliac artery. Okay, internal iliac artery, which is supplying to the uterus. Then venous drainage is same. That is the uterine vein, which is draining into the internal iliac vein. Then now coming to the lymphatics. So lymphatic is different here. We are going to divide the lymphatic into parts. That is the this body, upper part of body, lower part of body, and the cervix. Upper part of the body, it is draining into the pre and the para-aortic group of lymph nodes. Then the lower part of the body, it is draining into the external iliac group of lymph node, whereas the cervix is draining into the internal iliac, external iliac, and the obturator group of lymph nodes. So remember, once I will repeat: upper part, lower part, and the cervix. For the lymphatic, we are dividing this uterus into the three parts: upper part, middle part, upper part of the uterus, middle part of the lower part of the uterus and the cervix. Upper part is draining into pre and para-aortic. Lower part is draining into external iliac group of neurons. Cervix is draining into the external iliac, internal iliac, and the obturator. So that is about the lymphatic drainage. Now coming to the nerve supply. So nerve supply is through the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Okay, so this nerve supply is through the sympathetic is from the T12 to L2 spinal nerves. T12 to L2 spinal nerve, whereas the parasympathetic nerve supply is from the S2 to S4 spinal nerves. So nerve supply is having the two parts, sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Sympathetic is from T12 to S2 and T12 to L2. Sorry, T12 to L2, and the parasympathetic is from the S2 to S4. That is about the nerve supply. Now coming to the supports, very important. You may get a question on the supports. Also very important topic. In the starting, I forgot to tell you, on the uterus you may get a long question. On the uterus you may get a long question. So be thorough with this topic. So supports of the uterus, we are going to divide the supports of the uterus into main two parts. That is the primary support and the secondary support. Primary support and the secondary support. Primary support is divided into three parts, that is the muscular, visceral and the fibromuscular. Out of these muscular, these are the pelvic diaphragm, perineal body, urogenital diaphragm. So these parts we will discuss when we are going to discuss the perineum. Visceral, all we know, visceral relations of the uterus are the posterior, anterior is the urinary bladder. Okay, just below the uterus is the vagina, and the uterine axis also, that anteversion and the anteflexion. Anteflexion and the anteversion. Anteversion axis is 90. Do you remember this anteversion angle? 90 degree. That is big. Okay,
Yes.
and the anteflexion is 170. Okay.
170.
170. And the fibromuscular, just now we discussed the true ligament. Fibromuscular bands, they are the true ligaments. They are the round ligament. Do you remember the round ligament? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Then the transverse cervical, name itself suggests the transversely placed, attached to the cervix and to the lateral pelvic wall, uterus and posteriorly to the second sacral bone, pubocervical, cervix to the pubic bone. So these are the supports of the uterus. So this is the round ligament attached to the lateral angle of the this uterus, goes anteriorly and downwards and forwards, goes downwards and forward, winds around the inferior epigastric artery. Okay, passes through the superficial inguinal ring, deep inguinal ring, passes through the inguinal canal, slits into the septa and attached to the labia majora. So that is about the round ligament. Whereas this is the transverse cervical ligament, this is the uterosacral ligament, and this is the pubocervical ligament. So that is about the supports. Okay, got the points? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so primary supports, they are the muscular and the visceral and the fibromuscular. Okay, pelvic diaphragm, perineal body, urogenital diaphragm. Visceral, they are the posteriorly is the urinary bladder, below is the vagina and uterine axis. Fibromuscular are you able to hear me? Yes or no? And the fibromuscular.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and last point, that is the applied anatomy, that carcinoma cervix, it is the second most common carcinoma in case of female. First is the carcinoma breast, that is the malignant condition of the uterus, that is the carcinoma of cervix. That is the second most common carcinoma in the female. And the fibroid of uterus, very common thing in the community. The fibroid of uterus, it is the benign tumor of the uterus. is soft, smooth muscle of the uterus.